guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday morning. It is freezing. It's freezing where I'm at too, and I'm outside, and I have my little iced coffee right here. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Becky P. Hey, Paula. Hey, Megan. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Foxy. Sparkles. Hey, Mark. Hey, Perspective Reverence. Punksy. Hippie Chick. Hey, Stephanie. Tess. Adrian, Pointer Lover. Oh, whoa. Okay. Press something and mess my screen all up. Hey, Chrissy. Well, I don't know if you guys saw part 1 yesterday. Hey, Roxanne. Hey, Mark. Good to see you guys. Hey, was it Perspective Reverence, I think? Hey, Megan. Said that they've been around since the Watts days, but usually a lurker. That is so cool. Hey, Lucia. So yesterday we did part 1 of this motion from the state. It's a response to Adam Montgomery's latest motion. His trial is approaching. They're going to be doing jury selection on February the 6th. And at the end of this motion, they have put the transcript of Kayla's proffer in here. We're just reading through it in a more casual way, but I did talk to Bendy, and we're going to do a recording of this transcript with nothing else in it, and get a couple other people to play the parts so we can read through it accurately. And I think that will be fun. And maybe we'll do that on her channel since I'm doing this here. I don't know, whatever she wants to do, but I think that will be I think that will be a nice way to do it, to be able to listen to it and not have to go to 2 labs or whatever, that kind of thing. So let's see. Happy to be here. I'm so happy that you're here. -35 here. Oh my God. Steph, I don't know if I can handle that. Hey, Linda. Hey, Donna. Hey, Cray Cray. Rexy. Good to see you guys. Hey, Merp. Iced coffee no matter what the temp is. I know it's not like McDonald's isn't great for you, but their iced coffees are so good. They're just not too sweet. And like, no matter what size, it's the same price. So you get one of those giant cups. So I'm all about it. Hey, Mayla's mom. Hey, Grateful Mama. Okay, so let me go ahead and hey, Tiff, good to see you. Let me go ahead and pull up our thing. These cases with these babies break me. I know this one here is just particularly awful, and it's tough to read. I will tell you guys now, or go ahead and say, if you missed part 1, I would definitely go back and watch, because in part 1, we went through 61 pages. Today, we're going to go through about almost 40, not quite, but in the first pages, we have the prosecution giving a lot of their hand and what they're planning to submit as evidence, because they address each and every point. See, Adam Montgomery wanted several things kept out. He wanted all of his past interviews kept out. He wanted evidence of him purchasing lie kept out. He wanted any claims about him being abusive to Kayla or Harmony left out. And the state, he wanted all of his past left out. And they answered each and every point what they intended to do. And even in some circumstances gave an example or, a more specific answer or reason to what they're doing. So I definitely watched that, but let me see here. Y'all better bundle up, buttercups. Feels like below 0 in Boston. So this is kind of a local case to you, Jennifer. Hey, Rando. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Do you see on my banner, though, by the way, I put like a, how like on a construction job, they're like last day since an accident. And they have like the timer, and B Crumbs and I had talked about doing that with Nightbot a long time ago, but we couldn't get it to work. So I put it at the end at the banner. If you guys ever need to contact me for any reason on the banner, that will tell you how. Hey, Kathy. But at the end of that, it says last mute accident on the job yesterday. So we're going to try to make it, as many days as we can. So he wants to represent himself as being an officer and a gentleman. Nice try, not buying it. Well, his attorneys want to represent him as Obviously not what he is, because they want all of it kept out. Oh, thank you, Sparkles. Hey, Midwest Meemaw, good to see you. Hey, Alex, I've always been a lurker, but thought I'd come out and say hi from England. Hey, Kelly. Well, I'm glad that you did. I love when you guys that don't usually chat speak up. It's just so cool. Gannon's case broke my heart. Harmony's case shattered the pieces left of it. I know. Hey, Joanna. Oh, welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We are on page 61. So it left off asking about Crystal and also Adam's family. And they were asking about Uncle Kevin. If you guys remember, Uncle Kevin was one of the people that was the first to speak out about what Harmony was going through. And here we see Kayla tell detectives that Kevin said he'd give Adam $500 if he could take Harmony and go to Florida. So then they ask about her video chatting with her mom, and I'll start with their last question. So Detective Jack says, during this time, he distanced himself from everybody. She said, yeah, that I knew of. So let me actually so this is in reference to after what happened to Harmony. They say, did he communicate with his family? Not that I know of. So during this time, he distanced himself from everybody. Yeah, that I knew of, Kayla says. So now this is where we're going to start today. Detective Jack says, okay. Kayla said, I don't know. I think he might have talked to his dad, but I'm not 1,000% sure. But I know he just cut them all off and didn't talk to them. And Detective Jack says, so he was pretty upset that everybody went down to Florida and left him up in New Hampshire? Kayla, that's what my perspective is. Okay, Kayla says, I can't speak for him. Jack says, he never said anything about it? Kayla said, no. And Jack said, okay. Kayla said, that's just where I feel like because they've always been there. Jack, you recall when Nan and Kevin came up? Kayla, yep. Detective Jack, and I apologize if I've asked you this before, but just because I'm kind of thinking of family, Kayla says, Jack says, tell me about that, because it sounds like there was an altercation. The police came. Kayla says, yeah, Jack says, run me through that real quick, Kayla. So I know the front door was locked, and Adam put the fridge in front of the back door so they couldn't come in. And because he just didn't even want to deal with them and knew that they were just going to say shit to him or whatever, I guess. I don't even know, but get in arguments. And I remember they were both Kevin, and they came with somebody else too, Kevin's friend or cousin, I don't know, something like that. But Kevin tried coming through the back door with the fridge there, and Adam was shutting it, like kept trying to push it shut. And then his friend was coming through the door too. And I just remember that situation. And then Adam went outside, and I went up to the attic with the kids, all three of them, Harmony and Seamus and Declan, and he told me to sit up there and wait until they leave. And nothing was even wrong with Harmony at that day. Like, she was fine, but he just didn't want them to think that they could just take her from him. Do you see? Now, I'm sorry. Nothing was wrong with Harmony at that day. So basically saying that, because at other points she has said that he would try to hide Harmony, when they got pulled over, throw a blanket over her body or whatever to hide the bruises and stuff, to hide what she was going through. Hey, Chelly baby. How wonderful chatting, gorgeous Alex. I'm here, but doing Sunday chores, so listening as I work. Well, I'm glad that you're here and hope you have a good Sunday morning doing chores and listening to us. Hey, Wells. Detective Jack, was that your understanding of why they were there or just what Adam told you? Kayla said, so Nana said that she wanted to grab her lamp, this lamp that she got. It was like a sailor captain guy. Okay. and she got it before she went to Florida, and she really wanted it. So when she came up, she was like, just let me get my stuff. And Adam was just arguing with them, like, you don't live here anymore, you left. And then the cops ended up coming because they were loud. And Kevin, they were just all loud out there in the driveway. Detective Jack said, when everybody left New Hampshire and you guys kind of took over the house, was that a bad time? Like, was there fighting going on, or was it just kind of like, hey, we're going down? Kayla said, when they left, like, so at first, I didn't even want to live there. Her electricity was got shut off for like the weekend at our old apartment, but he was like, oh, we can just stay here. I'm like, I don't want to stay here. Like, I don't want to. And then we ended up staying there because I listened to him like an idiot. And when we were there, everything was fine. Like, we only had Seamus. We only had one kid. So, and then Kevin's girlfriend just moved out because they had their own thing with their son and whatever situation. And Nana was still there, and Kevin was still there, and Michael and Kayla was down still in the basement, and Kayla was working. Like, everything seemed fine. And then Nana just went on vacation for the week, and then she had a triple bypass open heart surgery. Says Detective Jack. Kayla said, and then she decided to find a house down there and stayed down there. And then Michael and Kayla packed all their stuff with the U-Haul, and Adam's dad came up from the airport, I think, so that he could help them drive down there with all the stuff in the U-Haul. Says Jack. And Kayla continues. And then it was just Kevin, myself, and Adam, and our two kids. And then Kevin started leaving all of a sudden. Like, he wasn't helping pay anything. Like, I was the only one working and paying bills. Like, he was just spending money on virtual poker. Like, he wasn't helping with anything. And it was just really frustrating. And we went to tell him, like, oh, we need help paying this. Like, you're supposed to help us. Kayla continues. And he wasn't doing anything. He would say, yeah, but not do it. And then he ended up slowly leaving, and without saying anything to us, didn't even tell us he was going. He just left. Jack says, okay, so he kind of just left you guys with everything? And Kayla said, yeah. And Detective Jack says, okay. Now, remember, CK is Christopher Knowles. He is the Assistant Attorney General. Let me actually pull it back up so I can just double check. Okay, so JD is Detective Jack Dunleavy. MR is Detective Max Rayhill. CK is Assistant Attorney General Christopher Knowles. BA is Assistant Attorney General Ben Agati. PG is Attorney Paul Garrity. And KM is Kayla, obviously. Hey, Tracy, good morning. We all had a healthy breakfast. Reese's, cookie, candy. Yeah, I've been eating way too many Reese's. Was he just keeping her for the food stamps or what? I just don't understand this monster. That's what I'm wondering, especially with the family offering to give him money to take her and stuff. But, and Kayla describing there was nothing wrong with her. He just didn't want them to try to take her. Well, why? He obviously found some kind of value in having Harmony, even though he was very cruel to her, by what Kayla says. Hey, East Texas chick. Hey, Juju Bones. All right, let's continue. So the Assistant Attorney General, Christopher Knowles, says, Kayla, do you know why Kevin wanted Harmony? Why he offered to? Kayla says, because I know him and Adam would always argue. Because before, when I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, I'd work in the morning and I'd come home at 2 in the afternoon. I'd work from 6 to 2. And I know they would always be arguing, and they would that was the same thing with Nana. Like, they would try and talk to Adam about the way he was parenting Harmony and stuff like that. And they didn't like the way he was parenting her. And I never said anything to him because I'm like, I'm not going to step in. You know what I mean? That's your thing. Like, I'm not going to unless you ask me to and want advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to take care of her. Like, that's on your own. Like, So I just remember that particular situation. And I know Kevin was home when Adam was home with the kids, and it was Harmony, Declan, and Seamus. And Declan was a baby, and Seamus was like 2, and Harmony was 4, turning 5. And I remember he had her clean the bathroom, I guess. And I was at work when that happened. Detective Jack says, who had to clean the bathroom? She's 4 years old, you guys. Kayla says, Adam had Harmony clean the bathroom for a discipline for, I don't even know what that was about. I don't remember. Detective Jack, so is that something you ever saw, or was it only Kevin? Kayla says, I don't remember. I know Kevin saw. I don't remember. I don't remember if I was there or not, because all I did was work and come home. And so did you ever see Harmony or Adam make Harmony clean the bathroom? And Kayla said, no, not that I remember. Detective Jack, what about stand in the corner? Kayla, yeah, stand in the corner, yeah. How long would that typically last for when, standing in the corner, like how long was that punishment for? Kayla says, I think it was like 4 minutes, 5 minutes that I remember. I don't remember her being there any longer. Jack says, so hours doesn't sound accurate then? Kayla, no, not to me. Jack says, okay. And Kayla says, that I saw. Jack says, and what other types of, and I think we've talked about this before, but I just want to clarify, what other types of discipline did you actually see from Adam besides obvious? We know that he was, hitting her. Maybe there was some cleaning in the bathroom, but just from what you saw, what were you seeing as like the forms of discipline generally? Kayla said, I remember he did smack her. He would smack her in the back of the head and yell at her and say mean words, curse at her. And he did slap her in the face that I remember. That's all I have right now. Then Jack says, how about your forms of discipline towards Harmony? Kayla says, I know I slapped her on the hand, and he also spanked her. I remember that. He spanked her. But I remember slapping her on the hand because she was being mean to Seamus because he was younger, but I think she was just doing it to get attention. But because she kept taking stuff from him, and I was like trying to tell her not to do that, and she just kept doing it, and I ended up smacking her on the hand for that. And I don't remember if I spanked her on the butt, but I don't remember if I did that or not. I've been trying to remember everything from. Jack says, how about punching her? Or how about punching? Kayla says, no, I never punched her. Jack, did you ever hit her in the head? Kayla, oh my God. I know I smacked her on the head, like back of the head one time, but I don't remember. Like it was just not like Jack says, okay, how about any other forms of discipline aside from physical? Like I said, standing in the corner or anything else like that, or brushing her teeth with soap, things like that. Kayla said, no, not that. Not that I remember any of that. Jack, okay, anything else? Do you guys have any questions? Then Assistant Attorney General Christopher Knowles says, if I can follow up, you said earlier, he made her clean the bathroom. Kayla said, yeah. Christopher says, how do you know that? Let me just check on you guys before we go further. 111 in the chat. Hey, Neat Noodle. He is just a mean dude. Too bad, because he was good looking at one point, says Tracy. Shut up, Kayla, in my Bendy Lou voice. I'm excited to read through this with Jen. I think she'd probably do a good Kayla. Hey, Cujo. I hate that dude, punchable face. I know. Hey, Jessie Lynn. Okay, just wanted to check on you guys. I know that this is kind of difficult to listen to. In MA, the back of the head is illegal. Just saying. Okay. So now Christopher says, how do you know that she had to clean the bathroom? Kayla says, because Kevin was complaining about it. And he said that he had her clean the bathroom with a toothbrush. He told me that. So because Kevin was stayed home with Adam, had to come pick me up from work, and Kevin was there, and he stayed there with Harmony when he came to pick me up, and the boys for just to so I could get picked up and come back home. But I just remember Kevin complaining about it, and Adam did tell me that he did that. And so you would overhear these arguments between them, Christopher says. Kayla says they would always be arguing all the time. Detective Jack, so you had that Kevin, I think it's supposed to say you heard Adam admit that he did make Harmony clean the bathroom. Kayla, yeah, because he told me too. He's like, I had her clean the bathroom because I didn't know what else to do. Like, he didn't want to touch her. Like, he didn't want to put hands on her. Didn't want to do any of that. Oh my God. Detective Jack, did he describe like what he meant by making her clean the bathroom? Like what he made her do? Kayla said, he just said I had her clean with the toothbrush. I don't know specifically what was getting cleaned. I don't know. Like, I don't know what he had her specifically clean. I just know that he just had her do that. Christopher Knowles, any more follow-up on that? Detective Jack, did Adam ever use anybody else's name or date of birth whenever he was in trouble, or just to lie to people? Kayla says, I think he used Kevin's like back forever ago. I don't remember. Detective Jack, his brother Kevin? Kayla, his cousin Kevin. Kayla, or his cousin. So Kayla says, I meant his uncle Kevin. Uncle Kevin, that's what I meant, says Detective Jack. Kayla says, GD, so much family. Detective Jack says, yeah, so he'd use Uncle Kevin's name sometimes. Kayla says, yeah. So he knew. Kayla said, I remember that, yeah. Jack says he obviously knew his date of birth and stuff like that. Kayla said, yeah, because they were close growing up. Like, it was almost his, like, Uncle Kevin was like his dad, because his dad was in prison most of his life until he was a teenager. Jack says, at any time when you guys had Harmony, did she ever get into any of the drugs that you and Adam were using? Kayla, no. Jack, okay. Kayla, not that I remember. None of the kids ever got into any of the drugs. Detective Jack, all right. Chris, I know that you had added this as a question, and I think we actually have the answer, but just for clarification, who did you guys buy food for at Burger King that morning of her death? Kayla, it was for the kids, and I don't remember. I think he got me something because he didn't care if he ate or not, but I remember we feeding the kids. Jack says, so you gave all the kids food? Kayla, I handed it in the back. Like, I handed it back, but and I had something. I had something for each one of them. I just handed it back like this, and then Seamus and Declan couldn't eat it yet because he was an infant, but I gave Seamus like a little piece at a time, and he was in the middle. Jack says, so did you see, I know one of the last two proffers, you had spoken about Harmony making some noise in the back and not really checking on her. I'm going to tell you guys a trigger warning because, and I haven't seen the transcripts of the proffer. However, in the arrest affidavit that was released after Adam's conviction in the weapons case, we did hear about in detail that morning about the way that Adam hit Harmony and the sounds and stuff that she was making. And we heard about no one checking on her. So I feel like it's going to go in that direction. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Oh, Riddler, thank you for gifting a membership and good to see you. Hey, Tony, good morning. Okay. So just so you guys know, that's probably what we're going to be getting into. So, okay. Kayla says, yeah. Jack, so do you remember what you saw when you looked back in the back seat now that you're saying that you had turned around to feed one of the kids? Kayla, I just remember her having the blanket. I know she had the blanket on her lap, but I don't remember really looking at her because I didn't turn all the way around. I was just sitting on the seat and just handing back the food. Any other questions? Chris says, did you hand food back to Harmony? Kayla, yeah, I handed It was on the blanket. I know that. I put it on the blanket. I remember feeling for her when I was reaching back because I was still trying to get the other food out of the bag at the same time. Christopher, did you see her face when you looked back? Kayla, I know she had a black eye, but that was prior to that morning. Jack, and do you remember again what you brought from Burger King? So she didn't even, oh God, this just makes me sick. I'm sorry, you guys. This is just infuriating. I just remember it was breakfast. Some breakfast food? Yeah. Okay. It was breakfast because it was early. Chris says, anything else on that? And then Jack says, did Adam have anybody that he was constantly hanging out with that you had kind of a close associate? I don't know if you want me to call them friends or just associates. Between the time of living in the car, her death, and then disposal, like were there people that you saw multiple people that you saw Adam hanging out with like on a regular basis during that time? She said, I don't know about hanging out because we were in the car, like we lived in the car, but I remember saying, but from that period she says, from that period all the way up until we were in an apartment. He says, yeah, so like early December through when Harmony was disposed of in early March. Kayla said, I just remember Anthony Bodero because we were staying down in the parking lot at Colonial Village. Yep. This is the one. Hold on, let me just continue reading and not try to insert anything. I forgot to do this, though, at the beginning. Let me grab the link for this for you guys. I'm going to drop it in the chat in case you guys want to read along with us. We are on page 71. You can just click this link and go straight to the document. Oh, Riddler, thank you for being a member 14 months, and you are so sweet. I just appreciate you so much. Thank you. That is so super sweet. Thank you, Rexy. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Jay. Harmony's entire life was a trigger warning. Oh, Pointer Lover. Member for 23 months. I love you too. And thank you so much for being here for 23 months. My mod mama mod. I love that. And I love you. And thank you. Okay, so let's continue. Not going to keep it muted by accident when I go to mute to cough or clear my throat. You know, I'm trying real hard not to do that. Okay. So back, Anthony Bodero. Kayla says he was already, I've known him before all this, like years. And Jack says, right, I remember that. Kayla says, and I just remember there was always people in and out. I remember Ish came by. Now we heard of him too in that weapons trial. She says, I think that was it, Ish. I don't remember his name, but I know Ish came by to try and sell him a gun. And Adam literally took it apart, put it in a bag, and threw it in the trash out in the barrel because when Ish came upstairs, he had two phones in his hands and he was like, show me how to work this camera. Like I'm not dumb. You know what I mean? I know what he was trying to do. And Adam's like, get the F out of my house, like go. And Adam brought the gun to the trash first, and then he had him go. And he ended up taking that bag out of the trash, Ish did, and left with it. But I remember what was his name? I remember Todd Ben something. He goes by Whitey. And his girlfriend. I remember Travis and his girlfriend. I remember Adam that we met at the family shelter and his girlfriend Kayla. So it was Adam and Kayla and another Adam and Kayla. Wow. Yeah, there was an Adam and Kayla, and they were in families in transitions, and they ended up moving to an apartment. They got a room through families in transitions behind the family outfitters thing. But but the one time that they came by, because Adam was trying to figure out how to get stuff from somebody without dealing with the other people, because he thought that it was poisoning him and fake. And Kayla's the one that came and brought stuff, and he started freaking out because she was wearing a pair of boots that are similar to mine, a pair of pants that are similar to his, and he's like, "You're wearing my pants," and it was after he took a hit of crack. He started freaking out and kicked Kayla out of the house and was freaking out. And I just remember her. I remember Nicole. Nicole was hanging out with us at first because we met her at the shelter too, and her kids. And Jack says, if you had to guess somebody, or just kind of if you had to make a guess, who would Adam tell about what he did? Kayla said, Jack said, or do you personally know that he actually told anybody? Kayla said, I don't know that he told anybody, but I know he was really close to Matt Garcia. I know they were really close, and Adam did a couple side jobs with Matt when we were at the shelter, moving stuff, because he worked for, I don't know, a moving company or whatever, but I remember that. And Matt did come by the apartment, but was outside. He had just broke his arm or something, but I don't know if he specifically said anything to Matt. I just know they've been really, really close since they were teenagers, young. Jack, and I don't remember if I've asked you this before, just because there's so many hours of us speaking. Kayla says, when Matt and his girlfriend Courtney on Thanksgiving, when you guys went to them, they offered to let you guys stay with them. I don't know if you remember that. Kayla says, no, I don't remember that. I don't. Jack says, so from what we know, Kayla says, I don't even remember going there. Jack said, so it sounds like they offered your guys their place to stay until you could get back on your feet. Kayla says, oh, I remember we met with them at at these river apartments. Jack says, and he gave Adam something because I don't know, he sold Adam something. Jack says, like drugs or... Kayla, yeah, drugs. And he had us meet him over there. And once he met with him, I just remember he was like, oh, this is where my aunt lives or something. And Matt, I think he offered, I don't remember. I don't know. Any reason why you guys would have turned that down, knowing you're living in a car? Kayla said, if they did offer to let you stay with them. Kayla, I was telling him we should, but he was like, no, we're not doing that. And I'm like, okay, wait, so now you remember that they wanted you to stay there? Halo Red. No, Rando, you will never hijack. You guys are, if you feel comfortable enough to share anything that you're going through, and you are more than welcome to. Rando says, I don't want to hijack. Please send me some positive prayers, thoughts. Had a nuclear bone scan on Tuesday, and Tuesday found out if metastatic cancer or just crushed vertebrae from surgery. Sending you all the love and good vibes, Rando. So many inconsistencies. I know. You don't remember that at all, but now you remember telling him you should do it. Okay, let's just continue. Jack says, how about any connections down in Massachusetts? Did Adam have anybody he would regularly speak with down in Massachusetts, or have any family that he would go down to visit? Now, again, we're talking about the time frame of December through March. Kayla, not that I know of. I just know, I think that's where Kevin was living in Mass. I think that's where he was staying with Aunt Pam or something. But I don't know of him. I don't know who else is down there. I just know everybody went to Florida besides her, Aunt Pam, and Kevin moved down there. I don't know who else would be down there. Jack, okay. If Adam would have, so Adam had an associate in jail. He told him to let you stay out of Revere. Any reason why he would have told you to stay out of Revere? Kayla, I never heard that. Jack, no, I know you didn't hear it. We heard it. Kayla, I don't know. Jack, but can you think of a reason why Adam wouldn't want you to go there? And we're going to look at the end of this. We're going to talk about the upcoming trial. He has put out his witness list. And if I remember correctly, when we pulled it up the first time, one is an inmate. He only has 2 people. Kayla says, no, because I don't know why he would even say that. I know that he brought, we went down there like years ago, like not during any of that time frame, but we went down there years ago and we brought Harmony with us to his aunt's house. Now that I remember that, and I think his Nana, Wanda, that's who that is, Nana Wanda, his dad and his mom's mom. Mom's mom? Jack, so his grandmother, Adam's grandmother? Kayla, yeah, Adam's grandmother on the other side, and his aunt starts with a K, I think. I don't know, but I remember his aunt when we went down. I remember going down there for Harmony's birthday. Jack, this is before you guys got her? Kayla, no, this is when we like just got Harmony, we went. Jack, oh, okay. Kayla finishes her statement. We went down for her birthday last summer because it was Seamus's birthday and her birthday like the next day. So we went down there and she got to spend her birthday down there. And she spent the night. She spent the night with her, I think. I know she said she asked if she could or something, and Adam let her stay with her, I think. I don't remember that 100%, but I think it was something like that. But I don't know why he would tell me to stay away from there. I don't even know the area. Jack says, did you go down there to buy drugs? Kayla says no, and Jack says no. Now, it is so interesting to me that Adam's whole family wanted something to do with Harmony. They did not agree with how he was parenting her, apparently, to the point where he wouldn't even allow them to see her sometimes out of fear that they would try to take her. We now know Uncle Kevin, allegedly, by Kayla's word of mouth, tried to offer $500 to take Harmony. I'm honestly surprised he didn't accept that offer, but Kayla said he just showed, like, we went down there. His best friend, Scott Paradise, ended up passing away, and that was a month after my best friend passed away, and we went down to his funeral. And this was way before any of that, and that was one time I went down there. He also showed me his childhood house where he was staying, like, when we were down there, but I don't know that area. That's what happens when you're living in that world. Many of your friends do pass away. So Detective Jack says, so where were Adam's connections in Massachusetts? If he were to go down there, like when this was all going on or even leading up. So let's start from when you got Harmony until when she died, when she was disposed of. Did you guys go down to Mass to pick up drugs anywhere? Were you guys going to any towns in Massachusetts specifically? Kayla says, not that I remember. I don't remember doing anything like that, like. Jack says, and if you don't remember, that's fine. Kayla says, yeah, I don't. Jack said, I didn't know I'm just asking the question, if you remember going down there to a certain town specifically ever. Kayla says, no, we never went down to there specifically. The only time I remember going down there specifically was meeting his aunt and his Nana and bringing Harmony down for her birthday and then Scott's funeral. And I was pregnant with Seamus. No, I was pregnant with Declan. And I just remember that, and it was the month before we got Harmony. Jack says, okay, have you heard from Adam in any other way, whether it be like messages relayed to you by someone else, like any form or fashion, did somebody else write a note for him? Kayla, not that I know of. I know over the summer when I was hanging out with Biggie, Terrence Jackson. Yeah, that one. I know he was in Valley Street before I got out the first time. And I know that, like, he told me, I don't know why he told me this, but it was just random when we were staying in the hotel. I don't remember what hotel, but he said to me that Adam said to him that he understands if I talk and say what I need to say. Like he knows that he understands why I need to tell, like, and he won't be mad, even though I know he's pissed, but I could care less. Like, because, like, I don't know, because then I can be with the children, I can be with the kids, but now I'm having a hard time with that a little bit. So no one else was trying to relay any messages. So apparently Adam sent a message through a mutual friend to Kayla that he would understand if she told what happened. How about sending messages? Not even his dad, no. How about sending Adam telling his dad to tell you? No, his dad refuses to do any of that. Okay, he says he will support me. He will support him in the ways that he can, but he's not going to. He's not sending messages to either of us. Jack, okay, who else have you told everything about? Kayla, I know I told my mom. I didn't really get to tell her everything. I just told her why the cooler got picked up. Now, remember, in that affidavit, we saw this little cooler that Harmony's body was allegedly in the hallway when they were staying with Kayla's family at their apartments. And they left this little cooler out in the hallway with Harmony in it. The fact that no one opened that cooler that's just out in the hallway, that feels unbelievable to me. But maybe I'll pull that up after we get through this, that affidavit, and we can look at, because there's some pictures and stuff in there too attached of the cooler and what they removed from the ceiling and that kind of stuff. Kayla said, and I know I talked to Tabby. Jack, yep. I don't know, because a lot of times I share things when I wouldn't share them, so I don't know who I told anything to, honestly. I just get into too much detail like I've been doing all day today. Jack says, well, this is a good. Kayla, no, I know this is good. Jack, this is a good reason. This is good. Kayla, yeah, I know. Jack, to tell us. Kayla, yeah. Jack, but to tell other people, that could get you, I don't even know, potentially hurt, and you don't want that to happen, says Detective Jack. Now Jack asks her, what other stuff? So because you've been you've had all this time to think about everything. You've been sober for a while now. Kayla says, Jack said, what other stuff have you remembered? You're like, I really need to tell them this. I haven't told them this. I forgot it, or I was scared to tell them. Is there anything else that you haven't told us that you've been kind of dwelling about since you've been locked up? Kayla, I just want to know where she is. I don't know where she is. And I wanted to ask you guys a question. That the CMC bag. Jack says, Kayla said that you guys found. I was like, how do they have that bag? They're asking me where she is. Wait, so they found that bag? Because remember, she was put into that hospital bag after the shower incident and carried on the stroller and then taken down to the Portland Pie. So they found that bag? See what I mean by these documents are telling a lot of their case. That's huge. That is huge. Hey, Meg. She was put in a cooler, Megan. I'm going to show you that after this. But she was also put in a bag. And this was a hospital bag. And she literally, Kayla admitted that she had to forcibly squish Harmony into this bag. And at this point, she was all soft tissue. It is absolutely disgusting. But if they found that bag, then what does that mean? Okay, let's just continue. I'm just so surprised they put out this transcript. This was the state's motion that they put this out in, because they are trying to respond to Adam wanting all that stuff held from court. Okay, so let's continue. Kayla said that you guys found. I was like, how do they have that bag? But they're asking me where she is. JD, well, they made a ton of those bags. Kayla, yeah, but that one was specifically my bag, and I know that for a fact. JD, but they made the same bag like many of them, so mothers were. Kayla, no, I know that. I'm just saying when you showed me that bag, I could tell that was specifically my bag. JD, what about that bag made you believe that it was specifically yours? Kayla, because I've had it for so long, and I've used it a lot. I used it quite a lot. There was this one spot, there was like a blood stain on it, and that was there for, I don't even know how long it was there, way before her way. It was there for a long time. Wow. JD said, I will tell you with 100% honesty, we know that's not your bag. We know who we got that from because, Kayla, it just looks so much like it. JD, I understand, but I have no reason to lie to you. So it wasn't her bag, but she thought it was? JD, we got one knowing that this is what you're describing. Kayla, yeah, this is what it looks like, and that's what we showed you. So we're not saying that we have the bag that's yours. Kayla, okay. JD, we're saying that we have a bag that we know is the exact replica of it. Kayla, I was so confused. JD, and it just so happens there might be a mark where you believe. Wow. Okay. Kayla said, right, where I know it is. Like, I was so like, JD, I promise you that we know that's not your bag. Okay, so they didn't find the exact bag. They just found a replica that just happens to have a stain in the same place. JD says, so you can, if that helps you sleep better at night. Kayla said, and not really, it doesn't, but wow. JD says, right. But been thinking about it. It's not. KM says, yeah, JD, what would you say if Adam makes the argument that you did this and not him? Okay. Kayla said, I don't know what I would say, honestly. I haven't even thought about that. Like, it's like, what do you say? Like, I know what I did. I don't know. I don't know. JD, is there going to be any surprises that come up? This is getting tense. That you're generally scared to tell us, or is there things that he's going to tell us that you're not? Because now is the time to get them out in the open. Because Kayla said, yeah, I know that, but honestly, I don't know if he's going to say anything. I don't know what he's going to say. I don't remember anything else besides everything that I've told you guys, and I just know that I did the right thing. Crying and sniffling. JD, yeah, and I want to believe you because you've been doing the right thing to come forward and talk to us about everything. But I have to ask you those questions because as we get closer to potentially having court, we need to make sure that everything makes sense, that we have all of our ducks in a row. Kayla says, I know. Hey, Rhonda. Yes, Adam's girlfriend after Kayla did pass away. Okay, but let me see here. So that's why we're asking. They said we need to make sure we have everything to have a strong case. That's why we're asking if there's anything you haven't told us or that you are scared to tell us. Like, now is the time while you have your lawyer with you, while we're in this room, while before it's up on the stand, where now we're like, whoa, we didn't hear that before. Kayla said, right. Kayla said, yeah, I know. Not that I can remember. I don't know. I've been trying to think of everything, and I have been thinking about that question, but not really as much because I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, yeah, I know I didn't do it, but it's like, I don't know, like, what do you say? Just, I didn't do that? Like, you know what I mean? What else is there to say? The Attorney General Assistant, Christopher Noel, says, if that's the truth, then yes. Kayla said, yeah. He says, that's the only thing you can get in trouble for is lying. So I'll just ask the question point blank. Kayla said, uh-huh. He said, did you kill her? Kayla, no. And did you punch her in the face that morning? Kayla, no. Christopher, did you do anything else physical to her that morning that you believe caused her to die? Kayla, no. Chris, if that's the truth, then that's the truth, okay? Kayla, yeah. Anything else, Chris? Oh, God, this is going to be tough to read. My heart just dropped even looking at what we're about to read. Okay, let me take a deep breath and just talk to you guys for just a second, check on you, and then we'll read it. But the next question is Chris asking Kayla, so maybe we should have asked you this in the beginning, but can you just tell me about Harmony? Just checking on you guys, make sure that you're okay. I bet you it was recorded, Jay, but we won't see it until court. Yeah, but you're right, Kayla. He wasn't there. Will the trial be live streamed? I do believe so. I do. Kelsey Small. She was pretty too. I just looked it up. I think she was in, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time and we talk about so much different stuff, but like I feel like she was in one of the videos of him being pulled over. You're right, Sarah. What a good point. Law enforcement is allowed to lie during questioning. I don't think we can say for 100% certainty that it is or isn't the bag. I would actually lean toward that is her bag. And you make an excellent point because they do lie. They are allowed and they do. If it helps their case. Oh no, Meg. I'm sorry. Hopefully you got it back on. Hey, preschool granny. Okay, so this looks like she answers this pretty detailed. Excuse me, you guys. I gotta prepare for this. Okay, she says, or Christopher says, so maybe we should have asked you this in the beginning. Can you just tell me about Harmony? Kayla. And so I met her when she was like 2. I think it was, and she was in DCYF custody, and because her mom kept losing custody of her, and she was staying with one foster parent, and it was pretty much the same one up until Adam was fighting to get custody of her because she was upset she couldn't adopt her because the paternal father was fighting for her, and there was constant visits every week, and he was doing everything that he was asked to do by DCYF and sober. And she was happy every time we came to the visits. She was excited. She was always playing and jumping around, and it was fun all those times that we were at visits, and she was just a normal kid that was just having fun. She played with her brother. We played games, and every time we had a visit. And then once he got her, we decorated her room for her, and it was Minnie Mouse, and she had a castle that his grandmother got for her. And I just remember she was really excited. I remember the day we picked her up, and she was really excited, and we were all excited. But I remember she was really, really happy, and she loved being a big sister, and she was a good kid. And then she starts crying and continues and says, like, the things that she did, she was really smart, and she really likes helping and taking care of her brothers, like being a big sister a lot. And I remember I would take pictures. Like she would want to take pictures, and I remember doing nails with her, like we painted nails, and I remember playing with makeup with her, and she was just happy. Continues to cry and sniffle, and she liked going outside and riding her scooter and playing outside. Christopher says, in the picture that Jack showed you when we sat down, why do you have trouble with that, looking at it? Kayla says, because I'm still trying to process all of it, then continuing to cry. It's a loss. It's a loss that I'm dealing with, and it's like and she's like, one of the biggest things that I'm dealing with, and it's just because of it's a huge thing, and crying and sniffling. I know how the whole world is dealing with that, and everybody that's been putting all their time and stuff into getting to find her, and more crying. Even when I had to check in every day at the police station and her picture was right there in front of me, it was I don't know, it's giving me PTSD every time. It's not that I don't want to see her smiling face, but it's just really hard crying and sniffling to look at her sniffling. Even when I hear her name, even just used as a word, it's just sniffling, my anxiety goes through the roof, and I don't know, it's just really hard. Oh my God. Okay. Just infuriating to read, but let me continue. Detective Jack says, good. Is there anything else that you want to add or think we should know before we end this? I mean, obviously there's always if we have to, we can do this again. I mean, I hate to keep doing this, Kayla, I'm sure, Jack, but it's necessary, obviously, because we want to make sure that we're doing everything correctly. Because again, at the end of the day, it's about her. It's not about any of us. Kayla, I know, crying and sniffling. Jack, so we have to be prepared and do the right thing and put forth a strong case, right? Kayla, yeah. Jack, so is there anything else that you can think of before we conclude here? Kayla, no. Jack, no? Okay. Christopher Knowles, how about yourself? Is there anything else you want to talk while we're on one of those? Now, let me pull this up. We're at the end of this interview, and we got a couple more things to look at the end of this, some documents. But we have B.A. Speak Up, Ben Agati. Paul Garrity never had a part, I don't think. Ben Agati spoke very little. It was mainly Detective Jack, Kayla, and Christopher Knowles. We also had Detective Max, if you remember, Max Rayhill. So Ben Agati says no. Obviously you guys have done a lot of work and covered a lot of ground. Kayla crying and sniffling. Jack, all right, I'll stop the recording at 1:01 p.m. So there is a recording, and I guarantee it gets played in court. Meg, if you missed part 1, what we did yesterday, Kayla explains how he would be abusive to her, how he would threaten her about telling everyone and all the different things. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Yeah, while you were smacking her in the face and head too. That's a pretty big revelation from this interview that came out. Kayla smacking her in the back of the head. Now that pisses me off. We're going to take just a minute, and before we go, let me show you guys what else we have. Yeah, definitely replay part 1. But listen, you guys, I said this at the beginning, but Jen Lou, I messaged her this morning and I was like, do you want to do like a read through of this transcript and get a couple other people to help? And she said, absolutely. And I want to like see if she wants to do that on her channel. We can do it here too. I would love to. But also, we already have this version of it here, and I read through it the last 2 days. Now, doing it like we're planning with different people reading each part, it should be much easier to understand, and it'll be much quicker because we went through a lot of court documents in the part 1. So it would just be one place with just the interview. So some point soon, we're going to have a recording of this spoken by different people playing like their particular parts or whatever. So in case you don't want to go back and catch up with part 1, then you'll still be able to hear it all. Tiff says, that really, really pisses me off. How the F do you hit her in the back of the head? I know, I don't like it either. Who punches a little child? It's absolutely disgusting. But here's the thing. Let me pull up this article from yesterday, and I'll show you too what we have to look at after. So there is the Roseanne Smith interview. I guess it's just a summary about it, and I want to read through that with you guys. Remember, this is the lady who drove them to the methadone clinic and witnessed and said that Kayla is scared of Adam. We're going to do that in just a second. I'll just read through those 3 pages. But first, let's pull up this article from yesterday that I showed you guys. Hold on just a second, because we actually didn't go through it all. But there was an interesting part in here. So, okay. Oh, it's not going to let me read it right now. Are you serious? It wants me to pay. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone, because there's just like a first part at the beginning I want to read. I should have left it pulled up. Kathy says, I'm scared of Adam just watching him on TV. That's true. Lori says, Midwest Meemaw says, could have stopped it all. Okay, so lawyers for Adam Montgomery, accused of murdering his daughter Harmony, say police have downplayed the role his now estranged wife played in disposing of the little girl's remains months after her death. In a court filing, public defenders Caroline Smith and James Brooks say a police affidavit by a Manchester detective portrays Kayla as a passive and innocent bystander to Adam Montgomery's efforts to dispose of his daughter's corpse inside an apartment at 644 Union Street in February of 2020. So his attorneys are saying that Kayla has been described as a passive and innocent bystander, but, quote, Rather than being a passive and innocent bystander, Kayla actively assisted with the manipulation of Harmony's remains and, as such, knew full well no saw, blade, grinder, or battery was used. The defense wants to block evidence from being presented at trial that links Montgomery to the purchase of 80 pounds of lime, a diamond blade, and a power grinder from 2 different Home Depot stores. So, they are openly admitting that, that Harmony is deceased, and by that comment, but then they go on to say, Smith and Brooks say Kayla is the only witness to, quote, the alleged tampering with Harmony's remains, unquote. Police reports say she was unaware whether Montgomery used tools, having left the bathroom because she couldn't deal with what he was doing. Indeed, Kayla declared that she assisted in tampering with Harmony's remains, including the removal of clothing, the document reads. According to the affidavit, Kayla said that Adam had the shower running and she was unable to see or hear what he was doing during the process. Prosecutors say Adam withdrew $500 in cash from the ATM near the Home Depot, and the same day the purchases were made with $400 cash, but video surveillance from that day has since been destroyed. The purchases provide circumstantial evidence establishing Kayla's credibility that the defendant obtained the items and lime during the relevant 3-day time period that he then used to further destroy or alter Harmony's corpse with criminal purpose, the prosecutors wrote. So his attorneys are turning it on her, saying, but they're also, I don't know, that's just weird statements for them to make. I think we're just going to have to wait and see, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this kind of shakes out. Hey, Stacy, big warm hugs, everyone. Going to rewind and listen from the beginning. Be real. Both should get life. And that trash said he was innocent. Told the judge he looks forward to proving it. What the hell? Oh, Riddler, are you leaving? Have a good day. Thank you for coming by. Okay, so back to this Roseanne Smith person. She was interviewed January 9th at 2022. The interview started at 10:53 hours, and the conversation started by me asking Roseanne to provide her job description. Roseanne stated she works for Pelican Transportation. All right, now let's listen to this. Roseanne provides transportation to and from medical appointments through Medicaid insurance that included doctor appointments, kidney dialysis appointments, and methadone treatments. She stated she became Adam and Kayla's transportation to and from their methadone appointments starting in December of 2019. She stated she began transporting Adam and Kayla to and from Kayla's mother's house. Roseanne continued to explain she would transport them to the methadone clinic and a second location, Union Street, where she would pick them up. And that is where Roseanne stated that, quote, a lot of things began there, trouble began. Let's see. I asked Roseanne if Adam or Kayla ever mentioned how they came to live at Kayla's mom's house. Roseanne stated they never mentioned why they left Guilford Street to move in with Kayla's mother. Remember, that's where the cooler was. Roseanne continued and stated that a previous company who transported Kayla and Adam from the Guilford Street address should be contacted because they have more information about that. The previous transportation company were fond of Kayla and Adam and spoke with them about everything. Let's see. Okay, so Roseanne mentioned that Kayla had a different phone number than the one she has now, which Roseanne stated we should ping. She provided us with phone number 60 blah, blah, blah. Roseanne then uttered, quote, Kayla is scared of him. That is why she is tight-lipped, unquote. I then asked Roseanne if Adam and Kayla were the only two picked up while residing at that Dubuque Street address. Roseanne stated that if there that there was their 2 kids, Seamus and Declan, but the baby girl, Sierra, was not born yet. I asked Roseanne what kind of conversation she had with Adam and Kayla, since it was explained that Roseanne spoke with them about everything. Roseanne stated that they spoke about everything except harmony. Roseanne stated that it would have appeared that harmony never existed. She said that other people within Pelican drove Adam and Kayla, and those drivers were also not aware that Adam had a daughter, Harmony. I then asked Roseanne if she ever overheard the kids mention a sister or the name Harmony, while she would at times watch them in her vehicle while they went into the methadone clinic, and she said no. She asked if there were other people mentioned, and she said no. Roseanne stated that Kayla and her would talk about recovery, and when Adam was not in the vehicle, Kayla would talk about their relationship. I asked Roseanne if Kayla mentioned abuse, and she stated, "I saw it." Roseanne observed an incident at the Union Street address where they lived, and at that incident, Adam broke Kayla's cellular phone. Kayla wanted to make a call, so Roseanne snuck Kayla her personal phone while she was in the vehicle. Adam observed that Kayla had Roseanne's phone, and Adam walked right to Kayla, twisted the phone from Kayla's hand, and stated to Roseanne, "I will kill you if you give that phone to my wife." Due to that happening, Roseanne started carrying pepper spray. Roseanne stated that all would eventually talk about Adam's rage-type behavior, and it was recommended that he seek anger management. He explained he had been there twice. Roseanne then went back to the incident, explained the look in Adam's eyes when he approached Roseanne in Union Street, and described the look as someone that wanted to get her or come after her. I then asked Roseanne to describe Adam and Kayla's physical condition over the 2 years she transported them. Roseanne stated that it appeared that both were not using, but there was times that Adam began using again, and mentioned a time where Adam was arrested for possession of crack cocaine. Roseanne stated that Kayla began going to church, and Adam was currently in a halfway home. Roseanne then mentioned Kayla asking Roseanne to bring her to the halfway house that Adam was residing at. When asked why, Roseanne stated that Kayla had to bring Adam her food stamp card. Which Roseanne mentioned as maybe being part of Kayla's charge of welfare fraud. No. Oh, I'm not even showing y'all the document, though. I'm sorry. Which, let me link it again for you guys that want to read it or go through it yourself. Hey, Brandy. Good morning. Hey, Blue. Didn't fall asleep till 6 a.m. I'm so sorry. Oh, he breaks phones like a 4-year-old. Huh? I know men like that. Do you guys know like those? Oh God, I just. Okay, so Roseanne mentioned that other people from the company had provided transportation to Adam and Kayla, and none of the other drivers ever mentioned Adam and Kayla speak about Harmony or the mention of a daughter. I then asked Roseanne if she had ever transported Kayla or Adam separately, which she did. During the time that Roseanne transported Kayla, she would speak about her relationship with Adam and how it was toxic. Kayla would also speak about Adam using drugs again and going off the deep end. Kayla also added that while she was recently living at a shelter, Kayla mentioned Adam living in Maine with another woman and how she did not allow her children to be with Adam and the other woman because both were using drugs. Roseanne stated that Adam and his new girlfriend came down this past Christmas to deliver gifts, and that is when Kayla would not allow their children to ride with Adam and his girlfriend. Yeah. Detective Valenti asked Roseanne if she was certain that there was another transportation company involved. Roseanne stated yes. Roseanne continued by adding that Kayla advised her of the other company and stated that the other driver treated them extremely well, but never mentioned the name of that driver. I then inquired about the other drivers, and during that conversation, Roseanne stated that Adam and Kayla remained tight-lipped and that, quote, drug addicts will do anything, even sell their kids, unquote. Because of the statement Roseanne made, I asked her if Kayla, separate from Adam, ever mentioned owing drug debts. She said no. Roseanne did state that her boss provided groceries to Adam and Kayla because they were in financial hardships. Detective Valenti asked Roseanne to go back to the time that she was threatened by Adam. Roseanne stated in the spring of 2020, she transported Kayla back to her residence and she had a look in her face of concern. Kayla told Roseanne that Adam broke her phone and was breaking things in the house, and if Kayla can use Roseanne's phone to get Kayla and the kids out of the house. Roseanne stated that the conversation she had with Kayla was while they were out front of the Union Street address while Adam was in front of the residence. Detective Valenti then asked Roseanne to elaborate what was said by Kayla when she was asking for the phone. Kayla stated that Adam broke her phone and broke things within the residence. The detective asked Roseanne where Kayla was when she handed Kayla her phone. Kayla was in the, handed Kayla the phone while in the vehicle. Did the detective ask Roseanne how many times had they seen Adam in this rage? And she said twice. Roseanne stated Adam was in a rage like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And when Adam was in that mind state, Roseanne stated it was someone I did not recognize. The detective asked Roseanne if Adam threatened her, and she said yes. They asked what exactly did he say, and Roseanne said, I am going to kill you if you give my wife your phone. She was asked, did you really think he would hurt you? And she said yes. She explained Adam was in an altered state, and that was the reason for his behavior. Roseanne went back to explain the start of the transports in 2019. Both Adam and Kayla appeared normal, but then there was a decline. Roseanne stated the decline had to do with money, food, and just a spiraling down. The detective asked Roseanne if Adam's behavior had to do with money. Roseanne stated it appeared that it did, to the point that Adam went back to smoking crack and relapsing, and that is when the monster came out. To note, during the interview, Roseanne was texting her manager to find out who the other transportation company was, and we were provided with a company called CTS and provided with the phone number. And that is it. So that is the other witness to, Adam's alleged abuse of Kayla. Let me see if I can pull up, I wonder if any local news covered this recent document drop. I'm just going to do a quick search. Let's see. Adam Montgomery. We have 11 days ago, Court TV covered Adam Montgomery wants evidence of buying lime and grinder tossed. Let's check that out before we... Maybe it'll give us a little bit of insight. And then, just look forward to having a recording of just the transcribed interview of us talking about it. We'll watch this together and chat as we go.
You know how many more? I'm right there. I got nothing to say. Adam, right? Montgomery. Yeah. Do you remember me from the Elliott Hospital from a while back, man? Yeah, I got nothing to say. Right. So, hey, man, the only thing we're trying to figure out is where harmony is, okay? So, the concern is that you guys are the same, right? You're not in trouble. Nobody said you're losing your daughter, right? So I want to make that clear. So, I have my body tomorrow, too, just like everybody else is being on. So you just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about. I mean, you're not in any trouble right now that I know of.
Now, these recordings are infuriating because this is at a time when Adam kept being asked about Harmony and he refused. And you got to think, at this time, this man's daughter is missing and he refuses to even answer anything about it to police. I mean, obviously, there's a reason for that.
I'm not going to arrest you guys. Don't arrest me.
Wow, what an attitude he's got, huh? Well, Adam Montgomery's attorneys also want to exclude some suspicious purchases that his wife, Kayla, claims that he made to tamper with Harmony's remains, including that old cutting blade, a grinder, and the lime. Now, Kayla Montgomery is
first, like,
expected to be a
2
key
pages.
witness at Adam's upcoming trial scheduled to begin on February the 6th. She already testified at his trial last June, where he was convicted on weapons charges. Here to discuss with me, Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson, Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft, and we still have attorney Carl Steinbeck standing by.
Ooh, I enjoy this. I like when we're watching a case like go to trial, when we get to hear attorneys and stuff give their opinions on what's going on.
For us. What a panel I've got today on the couch, you guys. Ooh, I wish we had all day to talk about this case. There's so much. Matt, let me start with you because you were there. You saw Kayla testify in the gun trial. You covered it for us. How did she come off as a witness?
Right. So I was there for the weapons trial there in New Hampshire, and she came off very credible, even though,
Jay.
you know, she's serving time and she was there in her prison outfit as well.
Great.
But,
Thank you.
you know, I'm also looking over at that defense table and how Adam was carrying himself very confident walking in the courtroom each and every day. You know, now a convicted felon dirtbag, but with a great attorney, Carolyn Smith, that's really pushing for these motions.
Ah, right. You know, you're speaking of, and so we know that they want the
Noodle says, I still feel bad about the one spanking I gave my son when he was a toddler and he's an adult now. How can he turn off the guilt? I'm the same. So I don't spank my kids either. I've never but I do have, like Kayla was describing, when they're little and you like smack their hands, but not hard, just like tap them. I had like inner turmoil over that, and I still do. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I know what you mean. I thought that was you, Amelia. I wasn't 100% sure. It was something different yesterday. Sparkles something. And I was like, what is going on here? Okay, let's listen. But yeah, I don't understand how you turn that off. And then Kayla just admitting she just smacked her in the back of the head. I mean, oh my God. That is not okay. None of that. I don't like any of it. I'm sorry.
the items from Home Depot.
I don't think, look,
to not.
I come from West Virginia and I live in the South still. And it is just a way of the world in the South for kids to get spanked. When I was a kid, you know, my grandpa I never got spanked because I try to be good. But I remember my grandpa making my brothers pick switches. And if they didn't pick a good one, he would pick one. Like, it's just a thing in the South. And I know that a lot of people that aren't from the South, they don't understand it. I don't understand it myself. I don't think that it's, you know, you're teaching you're using physical violence, right? In my opinion, how do you, like, let's say that you have two kids that are physically fighting and you get them in trouble and you whip them for fighting. So it's like, I'm going to hit you to teach you not to hit. I never understood that, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Not in the head. No. Like in the butt. That's it. But still, you know, it's, I don't know. And in Irish Catholic families, especially working class ones like mine, it's a pretty common thing. Yeah, Kayla's claim she has no idea where Harmony's remains are, so there's that. It's not just the South. Well, I didn't know, because like when I hear some people talk about that are not, like, I don't know. That's just kind of the way I perceived it, but that's interesting. Kathy says, OMG, my son still laughs at how he consoled me when the one and only time I did that. You still feel horrible. I couldn't figure out how the hell my parents beat our ass. Yeah, I know, Tess, but like, even for me, when I yell at my kids, just raise my voice and yell at them, which I can sometimes be a bit of a hard ass. I think you guys would be surprised, because I want my kids to be like respectful to my parents, and I just have standards for my kids. But even when I yell at them and they are wrong, they're wrong and they need to be fussed at, I still, at nighttime, I'll sit down and I'll start thinking back through the day, and I'll just be like, oh, like I feel so, I don't know. You just feel guilty. And that's just for fussing at them, you know, but Blue, I'm not from the South. I also, like, it has to do with religion. At least it did with my family. Would be totally surprised. We were swatted on our butts, but the head was off limits. I swat hands lightly. That's about it, though. That's how I am, JC. Oh, thank you, Jay. All right, let's listen to what they have to say about this.
Not be
I
in
can't
front
believe
of
it's
the
on this
jury.
trial
And
time,
Kelly,
y'all.
I'm going to bounce something off of you, please. Tapping into your experience as a former prosecutor. Taking a look at a piece of that affidavit of probable cause that was for the murder charges. Kayla offers some information about seeing Adam Montgomery pouring some lime on little Harmony's body. So take a look. So we've highlighted this, and she says that Harmony wasn't bones, that she had skin and teeth and hair. This is so sad. And
this is part of that arrest affidavit I told you guys about, and then putting her in that maternity bag they just referenced in the proffer. Kayla stated that Adam took Harmony out of the maternity bag. Wait, so let me read this. I should have read it first, but I'll read it out loud. Kayla stated that Adam took Harmony out of the CMC maternity bag in the 644 Union Street number 2 bathroom so he could add lime to the CMC maternity bag to help with the decomposition of Harmony's body. Kayla explained that Adam dumped Harmony's body out of the maternity bag into the shower. Kayla said Harmony wasn't bones. She had skin, teeth, and hair, and Kayla could still tell it was her. Kayla said Adam put about half the bag of lime or a little more into the maternity bag, and she showed with her hands that the bag of lime was consistent with a 40-pound bag. Based on Kayla's description of this process, Adam had a difficult time fitting Harmony's body back into the bag. Harmony's body was frozen. Kayla saw Adam run the hot water in the shower to thaw her out to make it easier for her to fit. Kayla was part of that. It goes on to say Kayla used her physical force. I forget how it's worded, but helped squish, I think that's the word she uses, her into the bag.
She could still tell that it was her. And then Adam put about half of the bag of lime or a little more
it's a horrible
into that bag that he was carrying around, that duffel bag that's mentioned all throughout the affidavit. Kelly, knowing this motion that his defense team has filed, trying to keep out the lime and the other things.
Adam had a difficult time fitting Harmony's body back into the maternity bag. Now, Harmony went from a duffel bag to a cooler to, I think, still in this duffel bag, or maybe that was when she went into the maternity bag into the ceiling. But then this happened and then back into that bag. But let me read this so you guys can truly understand. This is the part that I mentioned Based on Kayla's description of this process, Adam had a difficult time fitting Harmony's body back into the maternity bag. Harmony's body was frozen. Kayla saw Adam run the hot water in the shower and tried squishing Harmony's flesh to thaw it and make it easier to fit her into the bag. Kayla helped cut Harmony's clothes off of her body to make her fit into the bag better as well. Kayla described Adam eventually pushing on Harmony's body, and then she heard a bang. She was not able to elaborate on what this bang was. Adam also banged the maternity bag on the floor while zipping it. Kayla said that she also helped zip closed the maternity bag. After the maternity bag finally zipped shut, it went into the apartment freezer. Adam then cleaned up the bathroom with ammonia. And Kayla put this bag from the freezer and, she helped transport it to the next place. It was then taken to his work. And supposedly he went out with a friend and disposed of it alone. And Kayla was never told where. Midwest Meemaw says, I was born in 64 and grew up knowing that spanking was always a potential. And sorry, but it kept me in line. Thank you, Kathy, because I know this is horrible. How is she not charged with abuse of a corpse, child abuse? What the actual fuck? She is part of it. This is my thing. I'm not here. We're going to watch the trial together. We're going to talk about it every single day that it happens. This is one I'm going to follow, just like we followed Letitia's. And it's important to me to see this out. So when we are watching the trial, we will discuss the evidence they have against Adam. But here's the thing, Kayla's not on trial, and she was a part of this, and her being the star witness, I just cannot believe what she says. I don't. That's just how I feel. Hopefully after his trial, they find a way to charge her. Will they, if she's the star witness? Yeah, a 4-year-old literally can't do anything to be in trouble for. Oh, well, he punched her one time. You know why? Because she was supposed to be watching her little brother, and she couldn't get him to stop crying. So based on what Kevin said, Uncle Kevin banged her head around the house. She walked around with black eyes constantly and stuff like that. I mean, it is absolutely horrific. Can you imagine how her mother feels? Because now I had a comment on the video yesterday that was like, Harmony's mom wanted her. Why do you mention the foster parents that wanted her? Well, her mom was having some addiction issues. That is the reason that she was ever with the foster family. Okay. And, you know, me personally, and I'm an addict in recovery, I just don't believe anybody in active addiction needs to have little kids. And now I guess if it's like active addiction to a medication they're prescribed or something, I think that's a little different. But when people are using hard drugs, heroin, crack, going out buying pills on the street, stuff like that, you have no business with little children. You obviously cannot make decisions that guarantee like their safety and putting them first. When you have little children, you have to be mature enough to put those kids first no matter what. When you're in active addiction, guess what comes first no matter what? Not the kids. Not the kids. So well, I guess all of his paranoia came true. Kayla is the one telling on him in the end. Yep. So I guess it could make sense to why she wouldn't know where Harmony was, but I don't know. Neat Noodle says, I had a foster daughter who came to me with a broken nose because she couldn't get her baby sister to stop crying. Oh my God, Neat Noodle, I am so sorry. I'm so glad you do that. That is freaking awesome. My brother, he adopted 6 brothers and sisters because he couldn't bear to see them separated. Like one of my brothers has like the biggest heart ever. I love him so much. He's just an amazing person. But also they have a foster baby right now that she came to them at like 6 months old or so, and she had broken ribs, a cracked skull, bruises all over her from head to toe. She was just horrifically physically abused. Thank God she's alive, and thank God none of I hate to say this, but thank God the family isn't able to get her back. They very well might end up adopting her as well. But yeah. Oh, Roxanne, thank you, Alex, for a work live for me. Thank you for being here. We don't foster anymore. I miss it. I think that'd be hard on the mom heart, but she's obviously taking a plea deal. She won't do any time for this. Oh, Foxy, been a member for 6 months, and you gifted a membership. Thank you. Thank you, Alex, for all you do, my girl. We love you. I love you back. I can't wait for our live. Let me drop your link. And Bendy's. I'm going to be the one dropping links from now on, just so the mods know. I just want to be the one that does it. I made it pretty easy. I think that, yeah, that's just what's best for right now. I worked with foster kids. God, it is hard. I can imagine. Especially if you have to give them, they have to go home or their family gets them back or whatever. I know JC, he's sweet, but honestly, his wife is a big part of it too. I got to be honest, but okay, let's see what else they have to say.
Grinder, what do you think as a prosecutor, how problematic would it be if that stuff is excluded?
Well, as a prosecutor, you want to argue that this is really connected to the case here, and that's how you can get this kind of evidence in. Of course, defense counsel is saying lime is kind of a common product that maybe a lot of people will buy it, so they want this excluded. And of course, they've actually had some wins so far in this case because the judge has agreed to suppress some of the interactions that he has made with the police. But of course, defense counsel wants that entire video, that interrogation video, and a little bit, if you want to call it interrogation video, that they showed earlier. They want all of that exclude defense counsel. But the prosecution really has to stick to the argument that his actions are all connected to the death.
All of these videos are out. You guys can do just a search on YouTube and find all these videos. Bendy and I went over a few of them. And thank you, MK. I appreciate that so much. I know I posted it and showed you guys like an article about it a long time ago, but Jamie says, my mom once took a shoe off the display in the store and gave me a spanking that I full well deserved. I remember that anyone had permission to give us spankings growing up. Hey, Cheer Crumb Snoopy. It really isn't that altruistic, Tess. I loved it and got so much out of it. I think that I would love to do it. Just because I think you would get a lot out of it too. Because I don't know. I just think it would be a blessing to be able to do. Right, Shauna, I understand that. Well, if you missed yesterday, the state doesn't plan on leaving a lot of this stuff out. They do. They made the argument that if the information that they're asking to be left out, it's all part of Rule 404B, which has to do with prior bad acts. But they're not supposed to be used in court unless it is, how did they word it? Intrinsically, I don't remember, unless it was intertwined with what the case was about and all of this stuff is. So, hey, animal lover. You could get paddled in school when I was a kid. My grandpa was a coach, and I at the school where I went to high school, and they didn't paddle us by the time I was there. But I had to hear all about it from all the teachers about getting paddled by him and how that was no fun. Let's see. I'll skip ahead a little bit.
Like, this isn't gonna stop. So
No, it's not.
So either get on the bus now or get run over.
Well, I got nothing else to say.
Why is it you have so much trouble talking about Harmony?
Guys, I got nothing else to say. I want a lawyer with me.
Lawyers up there, Carl Steinbeck. Tell me what you think about the likelihood that video potentially being excluded. What do you think the judge will do, please?
Yeah, I think the judge is probably going to exclude most all the evidence of what he says. And what they're looking at as a prosecutor is, if that happens, then what other evidence can we bring in to show his guilt? And a lot of that would be his body language, his demeanor. And so take out the words. What do you have about the way he's acting, just the way he's
Look at
responding
Harmony,
outside?
how beautiful. It's interesting, though, because at the end of the day, it is up to the judge, right? But again, back to that horrific part. Oh, let's go here where they show their mugshots and stuff. And then I'm going to let you guys go. We've been in for a while.
Trial,
Yeah.
the wife, the estranged wife.
Right.
And of course, defense counsel wants to muddy the waters on her and talk about her prior convictions. And of course, their goal is to get the jury not to believe a word she says.
Right, Kelly. They need Kayla. If Kayla goes south, this is really going to be problematic because she saw everything. And one of those people that, as a prosecutor, you have to kind of butt tongue, and so to speak, look. She's a criminal. Look, she engaged in this. She pleaded. She cooperated.
I'm pretty sure that Harmony was born blind in that one eye, but she walked around with black eyes and all kinds of stuff all the time.
So it's like, hold her accountable to a degree. She didn't do the big. This was that, according to police and prosecutors. Carl Steinbeck, tell me, how strong do you think the case is for prosecutors against Adam Montgomery?
I think they're going to be able to prove that he's the one behind it. And I think that the way he was moving the body around and whatnot, that is just so absolutely gruesome.
Ugh.
And so I think that's going to really bring in a lot of strong indicators right there, just because of what he was doing with the body and how he was moving around. And the way people were complaining about the odors and whatnot, that didn't seem to affect him, that others had to bring up the disgusting nastiness about things like that. So I do think that from what I've seen that
So what he's referencing, and I'm going to pull it up if I can before we go just quickly. So when they lived in this transitional center, it's like free apartments for, you know, families in need, that kind of thing. And yeah, when they had a Harmony up in the ceiling, and there were a lot of people complaining about the smell, a lot. Let me see if I can get prosecutor file list of nearly 200 witnesses they might call in Adam's case. And remember, Adam has 2 witnesses. All right, this is with the pictures and everything. So let me try to get this up. It's an article written about it. I know they have the pictures in it. I wonder if they linked the article. See, there's the cooler I was telling you guys about. Let me just scroll up and we'll just skim through this. So this is when the document dropped. It was June of last year, and I know that we went over it here. It says a newly unsealed document sheds light on the police investigation into the alleged death of 5-year-old Harmony. The 48-page probable cause statement, which was unsealed Tuesday by a judge after a motion by the local news, outlines for the first time the disturbing events that investigators say led up to the girl's beating death by her father, Adam. According to the affidavit, Kayla told investigators that the family, including Harmony, were evicted from their home in November of 2019 and forced to live in their car. Kayla told investigators that Adam was extremely upset that Harmony would not tell her father when she needed to go to the bathroom and was having frequent accidents in the car, after which he would hit her in the head with a closed fist, the affidavit said. On December 7th of 2019, Adam was driving the family to Burger King with Harmony in the back seat when she had an accident. While driving, Adam turned his body and struck the girl 3 to 4 times over the course of a few minutes, the affidavit said. After the final strike, Kayla told investigators, Adam said, "I think I really hurt her this time. I think I did something." Kayla allegedly told officers that Harmony moaned for roughly 5 minutes, then stopped, but they didn't realize she was not breathing until their car later broke down. Adam Montgomery then placed his daughter's body into a duffel bag, which would stay inside the trunk for days and was sometimes brought out in the snow to slow its decomposition, the affidavit said. They did not even check on her. She moaned for 5 minutes and they didn't check on her. He also said, "I think I really hurt her this time. I think I did something. This just infuriates the hell out of me." If I was in jail with Kayla, oh God almighty. 2 years later, on November 18th of 2021, Harmony was reported missing by her mother. 2 years later. She had recently regained sobriety and had made several attempts to locate her daughter through school systems and by driving to different addresses. When officers first interviewed her stepmother, Kayla, she told officers that she last seen Harmony in November or December, and she believed Harmony had returned to her mom. They told police that Adam gave her back to her mother, Crystal, which Crystal's the one who reported her missing. Kayla told investigators that in the months after Harmony's death, her body was moved to various locations. At one point, Harmony's body was stuffed into a red cooler and taken to Kayla's mother's apartment. Kayla's mother told a grand jury she was unaware of what was in the cooler. So let me ask you this. Somebody comes to stay with you, anybody, and you live in an apartment complex, and they park this red cooler outside your house in the hallway. Is nobody going to open that and look in it? That just don't make sense to me, but let me continue. I don't know if Adam is neat, but I know Kayla is. Excuse me. When she testified for him, she was blasted. You could tell. When the family moved into a shelter on December, now this is about the shelter I just told you guys about. So they moved in December 30th, 2019. The girl's body was placed in a trash bag and hidden in the ceiling. Kayla told officers, according to the affidavit, detectives later searched the shelter ceiling area and found a stain and noted a smell of decomposition. Adam then moved the body into a plastic bin at an apartment they rented, then a tote bag, then a refrigerator at the Portland Pie Company, where he temporarily worked as a dishwasher and cook. She was up in this ceiling. According to the affidavit, in March of 2020, Adam had a friend rent a U-Haul so he could once again move his daughter's body in the middle of the night. When he returned, he seemed very tired, and he said words to the effect of, "It's done," the affidavit said, quoting the friend. So now that you guys have the rundown, like I said, we're going to be putting something out maybe on Jen's channel of the affidavit of the proffer read through. That's the third proffer that, we didn't get to see the first ones, which is where she gives this description of the shower incident and everything. I'm sure it's going to be horrific to hear and see. And so in between now and the trial, jury selection begins the 6th of February. We'll put out that proffer interview recording. And other than that, we'll just kind of wait and see what happens. But just know that we will be covering it very closely here. And I have new internet coming next week. So if we wanted to stream some of the trial, we can. The least you can do is tell Ellie where she is. I know, Tiff. I'll never forget last year, before Kayla ever spoke up, there was huge news that police were down searching the apartment complex, and they removed a refrigerator from the apartment, which also, by the way, is in the affidavit. He stored her in that for a while. They took a refrigerator out, and they were searching through the sewer systems. They were down in the sewer. So I don't know if that was because of this shower event, and they were looking for evidence, or what, if they thought I don't know. I know, Kay. I can't believe it either. It's disgusting. Harlot, yes, satellite. It is satellite internet, but it's not. It's HughesNet is who I'm going to try first, because it was a lot cheaper than Starlink. I could rent the equipment and stuff, but if it doesn't work, then I might go try Starlink. But I got like the highest one that had up to 100 megabytes per second. You know what the speed I'm getting right now at my house? 0.3 megabytes per second. 0.3. My neighbor who has Starlink is getting 27. That's still like quite a jump from what I'm getting. The U-Haul would have GPS tests. I would think so, but like just based on Tisha's court, but I guess we'll see. I watched the refrigerator come out. I know. You have a good day too, Kimberly. Thank you for being here. I definitely will, Harlot. I'll keep you posted. Let's hope and pray it does good, because I have so many things I want to do that I'm not able to do because of the internet. Like, I have a lot of videos I would like to make. Usually when I do a pre-recorded video, it's just something I've recorded live on StreamYard, because it is so hard to upload stuff. So it would be really nice. When I lived in West Virginia, if you see, I do have uploaded videos on the channel. Say a 10-minute video about summer wells. I have a couple of those. In West Virginia, they would upload in like less than 5 minutes. If I try to upload a 2-minute video now, it takes like a long time. So, yeah, Kayla does have other children. They have 2 boys, Seamus and Declan, and I believe a little girl after them, the youngest. It is, Tess, and thank you for being here, babe. They are with her family, Rando. That's the way that I understand it. You have a great day too, JC. All you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being here. If you need anything, want to know anything, want to talk about anything, all the contact information is on that banner right there. Thank you to my mods. I appreciate you so much. Foxy, are you doing like a tarot live this weekend today? Hey, Kathy. Or hi, Kathy. Bye, Kathy. Thank you. I have like a million thoughts that I want to get out and say bye to everyone. And then, yeah. Music City Mom, please keep my husband in your thoughts. He's not feeling well right now. Oh, okay. we definitely will say a little prayer for him. I hope he gets to feeling better. Oh, have a good day, Unseen. Thank you for being here. I'm so sorry, Music City Mom. I know that it's not easy on you. I know it's not easy on him either, but I just know that as much as you love him, which we can all feel every time you speak about him, it's definitely not easy. So next weekend, awesome. All right, you guys, have a great day, and I will see you soon, okay? Oh, hey, Shar. Hello, my beautiful friend. Good to see you. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.